This is the Global Podcast Network, where executives and professionals connect, share, and inspire. Stay tuned for the conversations that drive success.
We are here breaking the chains, as you say. Lilach, I can't believe this. It may be our final podcast. It's time to rise, the final chapter. And Lilach Adoni joining us here again. We're going to talk a little bit about what breaking chains means and so much more. As a coach, as a healer, amazing. We're excited that you're here and helping people really align with their truth. Today's episode, again, about breaking chains. We're going to talk about the new book that's being launched, and I'm excited. How are you today?
Thank you. I'm doing great. Great. How are you doing?
Good. We have a lot to get
Good.
to. And for those who don't know you, a little bit about you first, tell us, and then we're going to dive right into breaking chains.
Yes, my name is Lilach Adoni. I am a certified life coach, Chinese astrologer, Feng Shui, and a new author.
Congrats!
I help people create awareness in their life through the methodology of Chinese astrology and Feng Shui. It is spiritual. It is about helping people understand who they are, what's their pain, what's their strength, what their weaknesses, and how they can grow by doing activities, by changing their life with the awareness that they have an option, they have a choice to make. So that's what I do, and I love doing that.
Beautiful. Why did you write Breaking Chains? I got to hear all about this because this is not just, you said, with your hands, but with your heart. This episode really is about.
Yes. So I wrote Breaking Chains probably about 10 to 12 years ago. And it came from a realization that most of my life, ever since childhood, I was always struggling or always put myself in situations that I had friends that were toxic, but I just didn't know they were toxic.
Mm-hmm.
And one day it just dawned on me that I'm like, enough. And I need to actually change things in order for things to change in life. And that's in every aspect in our lives. Okay. Nothing's changing if nothing is changing. And it sounds simple sentence, but it's so true. So I wrote that book, and there was also the time when I started actually going to coaching school. And when I
Ah.
went to coaching school, all those things that I held inside and all those limiting beliefs, all those, um, uh, I don't know, grambling that
Mm-hmm.
were there, rised up and made me recognize that in order for me to change things in our life, I need to change the way I think. I need to change the way I see how I show up for myself. Because many of us show up for everybody else's. They do everything for everybody else. But when it's time to show up for you, you put yourself in the back seat. You say, oh, I'll do it later for me. But first, it's everybody else's. And then at one point in time, you wake up one day in the morning, I'm like, what about me? Like, who am I?
Yeah.
Why I'm not important? Why I always put other people's other people's issues,
Needs
other
and
people's problems, other people's needs always ahead of everybody else's. And in that process, you dim your light and you kind of like disappearing. And when I realized that, I just chose to this time to actually show up for myself, appreciate myself, and learning from all my previous friendships that I did the same thing and nothing ever changed. So this is what this book is about. It's about giving tools to people. It's about showing them the red flags. It's about taking them to create the awareness that, oh, yes, I have this. Oh, yes, I do this. And then in order for them to move forward, first you have to recognize your problem or
mm-hmm.
your situation, and then to walk through, and I will mention a few things that you can
Sure,
do
sure.
in order for you to create change and walk through something new in your life.
Yeah.
And it's about, we all go through some changes in our life, and sometimes those hidden,
Oh, yeah.
heartbreaks, or those hidden, things that we're not doing for ourselves is, um and the pain that we go through is, there is no, sometimes there is no closure, sometimes there is no, it just ended. So this book also helps you to actually give you permission to grieve. It give you permission to process what you're going through, and it hurts. Friendships, it can be from family. Friendships can be from friends, from coworker, from neighbors,
Yeah.
and from the people that you used to, even one time call family or are family to you. And so you need to acknowledge that, and you need to know that you're not alone in that process, and you're
No.
not crazy, and you're not dramatic, and you're allowed to want to live in peace, and wake up in the morning and say, I'm important too. So that's what this book is basically about. And it's not just a book, it's a workbook, because I give a lot of um, questions and a lot of homework to do in order for you to create the awareness in your life. Because sometimes when we just read and we don't actually do, it's two different things. It doesn't wake up, and it doesn't actually correlate to us to actually understand what's going on and put a mirror in
Wow.
our face.
Okay, so you are allowed to want peace, you say, right? Anyone's in the
Yes.
space saying you're not crazy, you're not dramatic, you're allowed to want peace, and you're helping give us permission with this, right? So breaking change, you say, was born from hidden heartbreaks, the ones that we don't want to talk about because there's no breakup, no closure, and no permission to grieve, and it hurts. And you're right, you are not alone. And for those out there listening, I want to dive a little further into, this book and who it's really for out there, because there's so many people that can benefit, and men and women, as you say, right? You got to stop the people pleasing and start honoring themselves. So walk us through it. I want to hear what we're going to
Right.
learn as well.
So, first, I also want to say I wrote this book talking to women, but it is for everybody else. I just spoke to women because I'm a woman, and I just wanted to, it was easier for me to relate to that. But this book is for everybody. I have my family reading that book, and it's something for everybody. And if you're the one, who is this book for? This book is for anyone who always shows up, like I said before, and but never really showing for themselves. Okay, and you always do for everybody, but nobody really noticed your pain. This book is for if you had a friendship that made you feel small, judged, manipulated, or everything is under the, if you're doing something for yourself, then you don't love that person, or there is no loyalty anymore, or you betrayed him. Why? Because you choose yourself. And if you stayed in those toxic dynamic because of guilt or fear to be alone, and also this book is for a person who lost themselves in order to keep the peace, to make yourself small in order to keep the peace. So this is about honoring ourselves and respecting ourselves. And this is what it's creating, that understanding that, like, oops, somebody opened the light, and like, oh, now I see it. And what you're learning, some of the stuff that you're learning in this book is the seven toxic red flags, okay, that are often overlooked. And I'll share a few of them
Sure.
today. And it's also, I wrote about the 14 steps to reclaim your voice, to how to move through the guilt, to the fear, through the confusion, towards clarity and strength. And how to finally trust your intuition again, trust your voice that tells you what you need to do, but you're so afraid of doing that, and to help you heal in a way that feel empowering
Yeah.
but not angry, and not blaming them, because I'm very much about taking responsibility. So
Yep.
it's very easy to say, oh, it's their fault. No, this book is not about a pity, self-pity. It's about you taking control. You're taking accountability of your action, because for every yes that you said, you could have said no. So there is this, we are not guilt trip. We're not we're not guilting other people. We're taking responsibility for our own action. And so it's not about blame, it's about creating that awareness. So some of the red flags to see is like, number one is if you feel exhausted after seeing this person, if you feel, like not uplifted, even like sad, even drained, or
Yeah.
feeling like not even safe, like, wait, I was in the whole conversation, but I really didn't say a word because this person took over the conversation and it was always about them. And if you speak, it's like, wait,
Yeah.
you're supposed to just listen, you're not supposed to be there. So this is one thing that, those who listen today, pay attention to the person that you're always hanging out with.
Yeah.
How do they make you feel?
Yeah.
And the second thing is that your wins make them uncomfortable. So instead of they're cheering you, sometimes they compete with you or they
Yeah.
minimize you. Or sometimes they will, oh, yeah, but. And they'll go to their place or talk about their accomplishment. Or if you have a win, they will never show up for you because there is this jealousy, underlying jealousy, okay, but it doesn't really show up because you love that person, so you don't think they're actually capable of doing that. and
Mm-hmm.
and the, and the third one is also you edit yourself. So in order for you to rise and
Yeah.
to shine, you kind of like making yourself lower, so you're not going to be the great a person that you could be because you don't want to be judged, or you're afraid to shine. And that is very much one of the biggest things to recognize. And if you saw one of these right now in your mind situations, take a breath, because it's okay, because that awareness is your first breakthrough
Yeah.
to understand in what kind of friendships you are. And what you can start doing today is that even if you're not ready to walk away, which is okay, not everybody's like cut and dry, let's go. Sometimes it is much more um, you know much more, very close relationship and very tight, so you can just get up and walk away. So what I'm suggesting is start journaling after their interaction with them. How did it make you feel in their presence? What were the words they were saying there? And
Yeah.
this way you can start, because when we write some things,
Yeah.
it's not just about writing. When you write something, you see it. And then it's kind of like an acknowledgement of your feelings. It's like a mirror. Okay. Or you can ask yourself, did I shrink or I expanded? Or I
Right.
expand in their presence? And give yourself permission to say no, or give yourself permission to cancel plans, or to take space from them for a little bit and see how that makes you feel.
Oh,
And also rebuild your rituals. So spend time with the people that make you feel safe. So if it's your sister, if it's your mom, if it's another friend, that you all of a sudden realize that, well, you know what, when I'm hanging with X, I feel much better than when I'm hanging out with Y. And ask yourself, what's going on here? See, but sometimes we don't recognize those things, and we just let the day go, and let the status quo be status quo without understanding what's going on. So small actions create big waves. So this book, it gives you the tools, but you are already hold the power. You just don't know it yet. But once you understand that, you will recognize it and you'll start taking actions in your life. So this book is, if anyone that feels that it's enough is enough for them and they need a fresh start, this book is for them. And I don't know if you can see it, but here it is.
beautiful. Oh
Thank
my
you. Thank
goodness.
you.
Such hard work. And when did you start working on the book, by the way? And how long did it take?
Yeah, it took me about 12 years. I wrote it and I kind of like put it in the back somewhere in a box, and I didn't touch it. And then in 2020, when everything closed, I kind of, let me see about it. And I actually had one person like, oh, don't even bother. And I'm like, okay. So I put it back again. And then 2020, like my dad passed away, and I started like thinking more about what's going on with my life. What did my dad is trying to
Yeah.
tell me? Because he always wanted me to do more, and he always wanted me to be the best that I can be. So that's when I changed it. And of course, I mean, I probably
Aw.
edited 100 times. I don't even know how many
Yeah.
times, but it's okay because this everything that happened in my life brought me through this moment that saying to me, it's your time, and I'm accepting it
Mm.
with grace and with um, humility, I think it's the word, to be there and to help people, um, you know, how to change their life like I did. And I wanted to tell you a little story that I
Yep.
wrote. Um, I wrote a post in a private Facebook group this week, and it made like waves because I never got
Tell
so
us.
many
Tell
likes
us.
and so many comments. So I wanted to share it with you because I think it's important that other people will hear it. So I was talking about how imagine yourself walking into Target or Walmart and you bump into somebody's cart and like, oops, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to. You apologize because it was really, innocent. But instead of saying, oh, don't worry about it, all of a sudden, this person is like kind of like freaking out and like unhinged in a way. Oops, oh my God, that was scary. Something just fell.
Okay. Okay.
and 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 it was about like, hey, what's going on here? So this person kind of like burst all his anger and all his emotions,
At you. Yep.
and how do you respond? And so it was just like, how do we respond to things like that? Do we jump into somebody's box? Do we fight with them again? Or we pause for a second and say, wait, why did this person just behave this way? And what is the emotion that this person has? Because people just don't get up in the morning and say, okay, let me just be mean to other people. There is a lot of emotions, there is a lot of things, there is a lot of story that we don't know that other people are going through. It may be if this person just got laid off, or he lost someone so
Yeah.
dear to him, or he doesn't know how he's going to pay the next bill. There is so many things because everybody has a story, but sometimes we just don't see it. So what I'm saying that is because how about if instead of getting to jump to somebody's emotional, you know, bad box, take a step and say, you know what? It's his energy. It's not mine. Why would I go and jump to this energy when I'm not there? I can be bigger than that, and I can be the bigger person with no ego,
Mm-hmm.
and kind of like to understand them and be compassionate. And it's very important, especially in the next 20 years, to not freak out right away and to be compassionate about other people, because many people are struggling, they're going through a lot of things and they don't know how to. So you can be like the trigger that blows up in their face. So instead of doing that, take a step back and just don't engage. And this is something that I believe, that I feel that I need to say it, because when we create that awareness, if you're hearing me right now, you understand that emotional, that people just don't get up and just want to do bad things. Something that they hold inside
Yeah.
for a long time, that makes them all of a sudden doing it. And you know what? All of us, one day at our life, at one point, went through that. So it just, don't let other people interrupt your peace and disrupt your peace. You keep your peace and be compassionate about other people. So and it's a part of healing, because when you are acting in a different way, that person might feel bad that he actually, you know, just explode on you,
Yeah.
because you're not engaging. So
Totally.
that will make them think, wait,
Wait a sec.
wow.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Exactly. So
All right. There's lots to be learned here, and this is pretty amazing. And we want to talk, now what do we do? How, I want to know how book is helping people, how it's going to help people. And this is fascinating.
Yes, I really hope that this book will help. I have a few packages on my website, so you can have a physical book. You can have an ebook, so it goes right into your email. You can have an audiobook with a lot of bonuses and a lot of tools that I created, and a journal, and an audiobook if I didn't say it. And then I have two other ones that you can also have an appointment with me scheduled to talk and to help you kind of like make sense of everything. So I do feel that this book will help people that are not sure what's going on. They
Yeah,
want to create some happiness
sure
in their
will.
life,
Mm-hmm.
some boundaries in their life. And if you're in this kind of situation right now, um, this book, Breaking Chains, I also call it The Good in Goodbyes, that sometimes it's okay to close one door and open another. And life is about changes, and we need to embrace change when we feel something is off, when we feel that we want to change, when we feel that I can't take it anymore. I want to
Mm-hmm.
change. That listen to that voice inside of you, because when we have this signs, these signals, this little thing in our mind that come and say it, it's not just, it's there to awaken you. You
So
just have to
true.
listen to
Yeah.
that voice.
Mm-hmm.
And once you start listening to your emotions and to the messages that you're receiving from the universe, so many things will start opening in your life.
Oh, well, thank you so much. Wow, fascinating. We
Thank you.
want to also have people close out for people that do want to purchase a copy of the book. How do we do so? Where can we
So you
find
can
you?
go, yeah, so you can go to shuioflife.com. I will also have them on my Instagram, my YouTube, TikTok, Facebook. I'm also going to have a link on my page there and all the information, and you can just log in and it's straight into that link that takes you right into Breaking Chains. And yeah, so it just I always open for questions or advice if anybody needs, and I'm always here.
And as you say, until next time, honor your energy, trust your gut, never apologize for choosing peace.
Yes, and for choosing you. That
Of
is very
course.
important. Yes,
Oh,
because when you choose you, when you respect yourself, other people will do the same. That is the sentence that my mom used to say to me when I was a kid, and it took me a long time to listen to, but those sentences are there, and you remembering them. You don't always apply them,
true.
but one day you can wake up and you can remember that one tiny sentence that somebody said to you. So listen to the messages that come through.
Beautiful. Thank you so much. Pleasure having you here and looking forward to next time, if there is a next time, or this may be our
Yes,
end. If it is, it's been a pleasure getting to know you, and I know we will connect again soon. And thanks for reaching out to
yes.
me on Instagram. I will respond. I'm sorry I don't check them, obviously, but thanks for telling me. I will write you back soon, okay?
Thank you so much, Jill. It was
Thank
a
you, sweetheart. I
pleasure.
really appreciate it. Thank you. Hopefully, we will connect
Thank you.
again. Bye bye.
Yes.
This is the Global Podcast Network, where executives and professionals connect, share, and inspire. Stay tuned for the conversations that drive success.